I'd say favorite song, Matt's rendition of Sounds of Xenu, and favorite
Yeah,
movie.
that's good.
I'm going Shawshank Redemption on that. That's
Okay.
Hello, Xenu, my old friend. I need your help with 9 and 10. Because the man is softly creeping. All proceeds I will be keeping. In the R6 that's implanted in my brain still remains within the sound of Xenu. With desperate schemes I plot alone, on narrow minds I claim to own. Beneath the halo of a tableland, I'm barely taller than a postage stamp. The faithful's backs are stabbed by the evil I do at night. They cower in fright. They fear the sound of Xenu. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 suckers, maybe more. People buying without thinking. People believing without listening. People doing that voices will never share. And no one by the sound of Xenu.
Hello, YouTube land. How is everybody doing today? I have something a little different to talk about today. It's definitely off topic of what I normally do, or at least what I've been doing of late. I have been very interested in the takedown of the Church of Scientology, and have been watching a lot of Sptv and the Sptv Foundation, and a lot of the protesting that has been going on in Los Angeles and all across the United States and around the world at the churches of Scientology. And when I first got involved, it was a very nice group, very close-knit, kind of family kind of group. Everybody pulled together, had one thing on their mind: to take down the Church of Scientology, to protect the kids and protect the elderly that are in the church. Which I say church loosely because it's more of a cult than a church. But unfortunately, things started to change over there. Division started to happen. Instead of taking down the cult, there was more finger pointing and judging and drama, much like we see over here in the Crama community. There is one creator who is also a protester that goes by the name of DOA, Defender of Ants. And he started out doing great things, helping the community, helping the cause, exposing the culty church. But then he started turning on everybody and started dividing and started picking out people and making up vicious lies about them and destroying everything that this whole community had built. And my red flags started popping up. I've seen this before. I've seen this kind of action before. I've been through it before. It was very Natasha Cooper-like. And I'm thinking, how can this be? How can this be doing this? It just seems like deja vu. This can't be real. This can't be happening. And then I got to think, are some of these people that were over in the Crama community are now infiltrating the Sptv community? But I couldn't prove it. And I'm trying to think of a way. How can I do this? How can I do this to bring the rats out? So I devised a scheme. And so I used partial truth, and I fed in some tall tales, knowing very well that the rats would bite. So I said that I was in Natasha Cooper's group at one time, and how she brought on so much stress to me that it brought on a heart attack, which that part is true. But then I said, I started my own channel, going after her, attacking her, and because of my channel, I brought her down, and she's no longer on YouTube, and that I was the cause of her not being there. Now, of course, that part's not true. I mean, yes, was I a little part of it? Did I have something to play in it? Oh, yes, I did. But I wasn't the cause. I wasn't the person that brought her down. And what do you think happened? I started having people, jumping in. Oh, you were irrelevant. You didn't do that. You had a fake heart attack. These were all the things I used to hear from Natasha Cooper's group, remember? And they were saying, I remember you, but you don't know me. Yeah, because they changed their names. But one person didn't change. I mean, they changed their name, but the icon was the same. Guess who that was? Siren Jag. So I knew right there what had happened. They had infiltrated the Sptv community, were hanging out with DOA and hanging out with that and just enjoying the drama, enjoying tearing apart a group, a community. But here's the nasty thing about it. This community is built around taking down the Church of Scientology. You have never-ends that are with the people that have left the Church of Scientology, that had to escape the Church of Scientology, who have been raped and molested while they were in the Church of Scientology as children. And they're out talking about their stories, and they're there. We're all fighting to end this nasty cult. And these people infiltrate, and what do? They draw the attention away from what we are trying to do onto the drama that they so feed off of. It's disgusting and it's gross. But I'll tell you something that's good. Something that I found out that shocked the holy bejeebos out of me. There is one person that was in this community that I didn't like. I mean, at one time I did like this person. But that person and I have butted heads several times. And he has said some pretty disgusting things about me. And some pretty disgusting things about my friends, such as Pastor Mill. But here he is. He's going to these churches and protesting. And he's saying, all I care about is closing the church down, standing up for those that were in the church that had left, the second and third generations. We call them the second and third gens, or the second and third gems, because they're gems. And he's actually doing something good, which surprised me. And at first I didn't like it. I didn't like seeing him over there. In fact, it was grossing me out. But I laid low for a while. I didn't say anything. I watched. I did a lot of watching. And he's not involved in the drama. In fact, he's warning everybody about the drama. He's asking people not to do it. And he's admitting that he was in the drama at one time. And he's leaving it. He doesn't want to be a part of it. Now, yeah, I know. He's done a lot of bad stuff. And, well, sometimes I have a hard time. The person I'm talking about is Glenn, Saul Goodman. The same person that wanted my house to burn down with me in it. The same person that said a lot of nasty things about a lot of people here. And I know there's a lot of you out there that will never be able to forgive him or forget what he's said or done. And I don't know if I can completely forgive him for everything he's said or done to me. But I myself, being a part of that community and fighting for the cause to take the Church of Scientology down, I'll accept him because he's doing the work that needs to be done. He's actually going to the Scientology buildings and protesting, putting himself at risk to be arrested. The Church of Scientology, they go after these protesters and they're really nasty. They'll make up stuff, get them arrested and all kinds of things. And the police, well, the Church of Scientology pretty much have them in the back pocket because they own the police. They've paid the police off. That church is wealthy. They have millions of dollars in the bank. They're a child trafficking church that stands up for the raper rather than the rapist. They stood up for Danny Masterson, but the 3 women he raped that were members of the church, they put the blame all on them and told them not to go to the church, but it was their fault. I mean, not to go to the police, but it was their fault. You did something wrong. You must have done something wrong for him to do what he did. And then with the elderly people, they have no retirement. These people that work in the Sea Org, they're only making $47 a month. That's it. But they've signed like a billion-year contract or whatever. They have to stay there for the rest of their life, making $47 a month with no retirement. And they get up in their age and they're working, doing whatever. They'll be out pushing a broom at the age of 70, washing dishes, whatever it takes. And they're doing this 12 hours a day. And when they can't do the work anymore, they put them in a home. And then they get credit. They get credit cards and these people's names. And they'll limit out the credit cards and then don't pay them off. And these people die owing tons of money. But the church pockets all the money. These elderly people, they don't see any of it. In fact, they don't even know what's going on. So yeah, when I see Glenn out there protesting, putting his neck out on the line, I got respect for that, and I can respect that. And when I see him standing up against the drama that's going on, because he even admitted it, he said the same thing I did, that he has seen this happen before. Right now, I don't care what side of the fence this guy was on. I don't. Because all I care about is getting that church out. I want them to lose their tax exemption. I want them to be in trouble for all the things that they've done. I want the right people like David Miscavige and these leaders to be thrown in prison because that's where they belong. And get the children out because they can't consent to anything. So Glenn, I don't know if you're listening to this video, but I tell you right now, all feelings aside, the past, I'll throw it to the side. And all I care about is bringing this church down. And I'll pull for you. I will back you. And then when the church is closed, it's done, it's down, then we can go back to whatever it was and we can harbor whatever feelings we have against each other if they're even still there. I have no problem with that. And I'm not saying this for all of you to choose with me and do as I'm saying. No, I'm not. I'm just kind of letting you guys know what's going on and what I've been seeing. This is kind of news that we're having these Crama drama people going over in another community and totally destroying it, doing exactly what they did over here. Because we all seen it. We all seen it. I know Siren Jag is over there. I know that for a fact. The others, they've changed their names. They say they know me, but they've changed their names and I can't place them. I don't know who they are. But I can only imagine. I can only imagine because it doesn't take any imagination because I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I fought against it for a couple years. Now, I don't have any channel on the Sptv community and I probably won't. And so I'm not going to be making videos like I did when I was doing battle against Natasha. That's not me. That's not what I'm going to do because my job is to do my Sunday morning messages, and that's what I'm going to do. But I'll watch the Sptv community. I will support those that I think that are doing a good job, that are sticking to what needs to be done, taking this cult down. I will support the Sptv Foundation. I will donate money, do whatever I can to help them on this side. But as far as any battle, any fights, anything like that, no, I'm not into that. That's just not where I'm at and not what I'm going to do. This channel, Mr. Predicto, this one is strictly for my messages, my faith, and what I'm doing. I have another channel that's underneath my name that I've had for years, and that's the one I go and watch Sptv with, and I really don't get involved in a lot of the chats. I've not been on any panels. Here and there I'll make some comments and stuff, but mainly just showing support, clicking, liking, and donating money. That's really all that I do, all that I can do. If I was a younger man, I'd be out protesting, no problem, but it's just not in the cards for me at this point in time in my life. But I have respect in those that are protesting, that are doing it the right way, because there are some that are horrible people like DOA. But as far as what Glenn is doing, so far what I've seen of Glenn, he's been doing okay. Now, we all know Glenn, and I don't want to tear him down. I'm going to watch him. Hopefully his past doesn't come back to haunt him or come back and he starts changing. But everything I've been seeing has not been that way, because he has met DOA and he has been friends with DOA, and he could have very easily been with DOA just like he was with Natasha Cooper, because Natasha Cooper and DOA are, they're two peas in a pod as far as I'm concerned. And they both have a history. They have a bad track and did some nasty things in their past. I mean, if the two of them would be a perfect match. But when I seen Glenn stand up to it and not go that route and not get nasty about it, not attacking anybody, because I've not seen that out of him. I've seen the opposite. I've seen him showing support. I've seen him showing love. I've seen him just concentrating on what is supposed to be done the right way. And it's a shocker. I won't lie. It's a shocker, because I wasn't expecting it. When I seen him there, I was thinking, oh my goodness. Oh boy. In fact, I wanted to warn some people. Watch this guy. Just watch him. Be careful. But he proved me wrong, and I'm glad that he proved me wrong. I'm glad that he's over there doing the right thing, because this isn't about us. It's about those second and third gen people that were born and raised in the Church of Scientology. They didn't have a choice to be involved in the church. They were there because their parents were there. They got sucked into it because of their parents. They had no choice. And their life in that church was horrible. Can you imagine at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10, doing work in that church, 12 hours, 10 hours a day, doing dangerous work, tearing up asbestos, doing hard manual work, and they're not even going to school. None of them have been to any kind of grade school or high school. Their school is the Church of Scientology. And I know a lot of you think, how can they get away with this? Well, they do, because they've infiltrated our government, and because they are considered an organized church, and they have tax exemption, and they're masters at manipulating and hiding everything. Do you realize they have tunnels underground going from one building to the next? Or they'll bus their people from one building to the next. They don't allow them to even mingle with outside people. In fact, they tell them that we're so bad, they can't even talk to us, to look the other way. They are the largest cult in American history, but yet our government looks the other way. The protesters are not only fighting against the church, against the cult, but they're fighting against a police force that is bought off, paid by the Church of Scientology. The city government is bought off and paid by the Church of Scientology. They get away with everything. They have physically assaulted protesters, and when the protesters call the police don't do anything. But one of the Church of Scientology people call a complaint, make a complaint that, oh, well, they pushed me or they touched me, when they haven't even laid a hand on them. and the police will arrest the protester. They'll believe it. But yet there's no proof or anything. But the protesters, because they film everything's live on their cameras. They have the footage, but the police, they don't buy it. They don't believe it. They don't want to see it because, well, they just don't get paid by the protesters. So anyway, I know this is off subject. This is probably something that most of you don't know anything about or even interested in. But if you are, just Google SPTV or check out the SPTV Foundation, or go on YouTube and watch Growing Up in Scientology. And Aaron will be gladly to explain everything to you when you watch. And through that, you'll find the right people to watch, and you'll get engrossed in it just like I am, and you'll see exactly what's going on, and you're going to be shocked. It blew me away. It blew me away. But the one thing I ask of you, if you do go over there, please leave the drama out of there. This is about saving children and the elderly. This is above the drama, above the BS, above all this stuff that we see going on in YouTube. There's no place for it over there. And they're having problems with it starting to come over there because they're naive. They've never gone through this before. These people coming out of the Church of Scientology, the ones that have left, that grew up in it, they know nothing about the Crama community whatsoever. And I seriously doubt that some of these people that are never-ends, a lot of them that are in the chats and stuff and the protesters, they don't even know who the Crama channel is. But sad to say, I think they're going to be finding out exactly what it is. But the thing is, I think that they have going in their favor is numbers. How many people did Natasha have max on her channels when she was going full strength? There are channels in the SPTV community that are like 150,000 members or subs. There are some huge channels over there, and some of the small channels have more than what Natasha ever had. So hopefully, with those numbers and everybody so driven to take this church out, and their hearts are all in the right place, and it seems like they're starting to understand that there's some very bad people there, and they're starting to kind of stand up and push back, and hopefully they get this under control before it's too late. And to those like the Siren Jags and whoever else is over there doing this kind of BS, you're disgusting, you're gross. It's a new all-time low for even you guys. You're like cancer. Wherever you go, it just rots and turns into a tumor. You're a bunch of cockroaches is what you are. There's a special place for people like you, and you going there can't happen quick enough. And with that said, folks, have a great day, and we'll talk later.
We would all like get off post, go to Universal Studios, and we would all be watching a movie. So that would be people from CC, people from PAC, people from CMO, from every echelon would just be in one theater watching a movie together, sitting next to each other like, oh, what's up, girl? I haven't seen you in forever. Oh, let's have some popcorn. And we were actually like friends. And when they realized that somebody from CMO was sitting next to somebody who was the dishwasher at PAC, who they had been friends in the cadet org, and now they're maintaining this friendship, they had to immediately crack down on that and not allow us in any way, shape, or form to have any form of actual camaraderie or real love for each other. We had to fear each other constantly. Yeah. So they put in this word fraternization. You can't fraternize with lower orgs.
Away everything that I knew, that I believed in how to face the world, how to show up in the world, how to see and process things. And for a while there, I didn't have anything to replace it. In hindsight, I would have like gotten into therapy or done something sooner than I did, because that became a turning point for me, because I didn't realize that. I didn't realize the importance of having tools. And especially when you dump all the tools you ever had, I just didn't know how to process the world. It felt very overwhelming to me.